Well, will the Green Bay Packers do against the Jacksonville Jaguars, or should I say the London Jaguars, because they were in London for 2 weeks in a row, and now they come back to the States and play a game in Florida, Jacksonville. Should be very interesting. Let's see what happens with these refs, too. Welcome to another exciting edition of Go Pack Go all day, and I'm your host, Vinny B. So today, we are going to predict Week 8 of the NFL. We're already in Week 8. So Thursday Night Football tonight, you've got the Minnesota Vikings versus the Rams in Los Angeles, where I think that the Los Angeles Rams are going to pull out the win against the Minnesota Vikings, because the Los Angeles Rams, they got their top receivers back in action. Puka Nacua, I think that's his name, and Cooper Kupp. Minnesota Vikings are a little bit banged up at the moment after going up against the Lions. And the Lions beat the Vikings last week. So, I think that Benedict Arnold is going to have a tough time against the Los Angeles Rams, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully it's a good game, and hopefully it's in the favor of the Green Bay Packers with a loss for the Vikings. Next game, Philadelphia Eagles versus the Cincinnati Bengals in Cincinnati, where I think that the Bengals are going to pull out the win here to take out the Eagles, because I think Joe Burrow and company are on a tear lately. Eagles are okay. They got Saquon Barkley in action, but I think that the Bengals win here. Baltimore Ravens versus the Cleveland Brownies. Cleveland Brownies got rid of one of their top receivers, and the Baltimore Ravens have been on a tear lately. They are using their big-time running back, Derrick Henry. He's got the most running yards in the whole NFL. So if they keep doing what they're doing, and Ravens pull out that win, there's no question. Next game, Tennessee Titans versus the little kitty cat Lions out in Detroit. I think that the Lions were going to absolutely murder the Titans. Titans traded away their top receiver, sadly. But I think that the Lions are just going to murder this team. It's going to be like 40-0 at half or something like that. And then they're going to pull out their second, third string players. Next game, Arizona Cardinals versus the Miami Dolphins. Arizona Cardinals are going to beat the Miami Dolphins. Arizona Cardinals, they have Marvin Harrison Jr. I believe he is back, but Miami Dolphins, let's just face it here, they still don't have a quarterback that can handle any of these NFL caliber teams. So the Cardinals win here. New Jersey Packers, New Jersey Jets versus the New England Patriots. I think the Jets will finally win a game here. They've been losing. They lost the past 2 games, and maybe more than that. But I think the New Jersey Jets will pull it together and pull out a win here against Drake May and the Patriots. Yes, they got Devontae Adams, and they lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers last week, but the Pittsburgh Steelers are the real deal. Let's just face it. New Jersey Jets will pull out the win here in New England, and we'll see what happens. Should be interesting to see what happens with Aaron Rodgers and Adams finally back at it again. Atlanta Falcons versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Atlanta Falcons will win because Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost their 2 top receivers in the previous game. So Atlanta Falcons are going to get this win. Green Bay Packers versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay. In Jacksonville, Florida, I think that the Packers will win here. They are on a upward direction. The defense just keeps getting better. I think the offense just needs to get better in terms of throwing that football where it needs to be. Special teams needs to be more careful. And the Packers have a kicker now. They have a reliable kicker. And I would not take the Jacksonville Jaguars lightly. All of their losses have been very close losses. But I think that Jordan Love here is going to use all of his resources, Josh Jacobs, the receivers, Watson, Dobbs, Wicks, and Watson, all in a relatively good way and fashion to win this game really well. But the Packers defense, it seems like they always try to do something a little bit different based off of who they're playing. So I really like the strategy that Jeff Hafley brings to the table for this team. And I think that the Packers are just on a roll here. They have to win this game because next week the Packers go up against the Detroit Little Kitten Lions. Next game, Indianapolis Colts versus the Houston Texans. Houston Texans are going to win in Houston. They just barely lost to the Packers last week, but I think that C.J. Stroud is a phenomenal player. It's just that it's going to be different against the Colts versus the Packers. Packers just had a better defense than the Colts, but I would not take the Colts lightly still. So Houston Texans win this game with their awesome running with Mixon and company. New Orleans Saints versus the Chargers in Los Angeles. I think the Chargers will win. The Saints have that backup quarterback. I don't think Carr is returning just yet, so I think that the guy, the rookie quarterback of the Saints, is going to struggle here, and it's probably not going to be close at all. It's going to be the same thing as last week where the Saints just got destroyed. Next game, Buffalo Bills versus Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. This is going to be a really tough testament for both these teams of where they stand. They're both pretty much, for the most part, really good teams, probably playoff-bound teams. But I think the Buffalo Bills will take this win right here against the Seattle Seahawks. The Buffalo Bills, they have the receiver from the Brownies, and I think Amari Cooper is just going to continue to build that chemistry with Josh Allen. Next game, Carolina Panthers versus the Denver Broncos. Will the Panthers get their second win? I don't think so. I think the Denver Broncos are going to win here with Bo Nix. Bo Nix is starting to get more comfortable at the NFL level, it seems like, but we'll see what happens, and I think the Broncos win this game. Sorry, Panthers fans. Next game, you got the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs versus the Las Vegas Raiders in Vegas. There's no question. I think that the Kansas City Chiefs will win this game. They traded for DeAndre Hopkins, the top receiver of the Titans. They got to pay half that salary now. But they also have the refs on their side. Violation. You cannot question the Chiefs. Wait, what? You're going to flag me? Out of control. Anyway, Kansas City Chiefs are going to win against the Vegas Raiders. Take it to the bank. Believe that. Chicago Bears, embarrassing Bears against the Washington Redskins. I think the Washington Redskins will win this game. They just have a more complete team. Yes, the Bears have a decent defense. They're coming off a bye, so they're well rested and everything. But Caleb Williams is going to know what it feels like to go up against the Washington Redskins in Washington. Dallas Cowgirls versus the San Francisco 49ers in California. I think the Cowgirls are going to absolutely get destroyed against the Niners. Cowgirls, they just don't have a running game. It's hurting them. So Dak Prescott is basically forced to throw the ball, and pretty much every defense can just set up for the pass. So this game, Sunday Night Football, San Francisco 49ers get the win. Then you got Monday Night Football, the New York New Jersey Giants against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are on the roll now. It looks like Russell Wilson is actually a little bit better than expected. He threw the ball pretty well against the Jets last week. And I think you can expect that the Pittsburgh Steelers will win this game against the New York Little Giants. And that's all I got to say about the week. Go Cadillac, have a nice day, and go Pack Go all day. Illegal touching by the defense, automatic 30 yards plus a touchdown. Chiefs win the game. And go Cadillac, have a nice day on YouTube.